Hey there, beloved soul. Welcome to Sacred Stillness. This is a space not for the strong, but for the tired. Not for the perfect, but for the quietly breaking. Here, you don't have to hold it all together. You don't have to pray the right way. You just have to show up and breathe. Because sometimes the deepest healing comes not through answers, but through presence. And tonight, we're whispering for the heart that flinches when it's loved. The soul that's learned to smile politely while backing away inside. For the one who says, I want closeness, but I don't know how to let it in. This is for you. Tonight's prayer is called, God, I don't know how to receive love anymore. It's not a sermon. It's not a solution. It's just a whispered ache from one guarded heart to the God who still stays. So settle in, breathe slow, let the walls soften, if only for a moment. You don't have to give anything. Just let this prayer find you. Quietly, gently, lovingly. Let's begin. The quiet breaking. Hey God, I didn't even notice it at first. The breaking. It didn't come like a storm. It wasn't loud or messy or sudden. It was slow, like a leak no one sees until the floor caves in. Little things, small moments, words that hurt but weren't apologized for, promises that were made and quietly left unkept, people who said they loved me and then taught me to fear what love meant. I started shrinking. I stopped asking. I told myself I'm okay. I told others I'm fine, but I wasn't fine, was I? I was tired. I was carrying the weight of needing no one, because needing had only led to pain. There wasn't a single moment I can point to and say, that's when I stopped trusting. It happened slowly, like sunlight fading without anyone noticing the room had gone dark. I used to believe in love. I used to run toward it with open arms. But now I flinch when someone gets too close. I doubt every kind word. I brace myself for love to disappear the moment I lean into it. God, is this what happens when you've been hurt too many times? Do we stop knowing how to receive love? Not just from people, but even from you. Because sometimes I wonder if you're loving me right now, and I just can't feel it. Not because you're far away, but because I've learned to keep love at a distance, even yours. I think I'm scared of love now, and I hate admitting that, because love was supposed to be the one thing that made life worth it. Love was supposed to be the place I could rest. But for me, love became a battlefield of expectations, apologies, and unfinished wounds. I don't know how to rest anymore, God. I don't know how to exhale in someone else's arms. I don't know how to trust that someone will stay. Even when they do, even when they show up with gentle hands and soft voices, I'm already scanning the exits, already preparing my escape, already imagining the silence that will follow when they leave like the others did. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I could turn it off. I wish I could meet love with open hands instead of closed fists, but I don't know how. It's not that I don't want love, God. I do, so badly. Sometimes I cry just thinking about it. The kind of love that stays, the kind that doesn't come with pressure or performance, the kind that doesn't ask you to be anyone but yourself. But the truth? I don't know what to do when it shows up. I analyze it, I question it, I wonder, what do they want from me? Because I've been trained to believe love is a transaction. If they're kind, they must want something. If they care, it must come at a cost. If they're giving, I'll eventually have to pay for it. That's how it's always worked before. So I smile and say, thank you, but inside, I'm running. God, I don't want to be like this forever. I don't want to shut the door on something you created for my healing. But I feel stuck between longing and fear, stuck between craving affection and dreading what it might ask of me, stuck between needing to be loved and not knowing how to be loved. And the saddest part, I've gotten so used to being self-sufficient that I don't even know how to lean on you anymore. When things hurt, I go quiet. When I'm scared, I disappear. When I need you most, I push you away. Not because I don't believe in you, but because I'm afraid you'll treat me like the others did. Like love that leaves when it's too hard. Like love that only stays when I behave. Like love that says you should have been stronger than this. So I protect myself. From people, from connection, from you. And I hate it. I hate living behind this wall. I hate missing out on moments because I'm afraid they'll disappear. I hate pushing away the very thing I was born to receive. But I don't know how to fix it. I don't even know where to start. Because every time I open up, even just a little, I feel that old fear rise again. They're going to leave. And sometimes they do. And it confirms everything I was afraid of. So I close the door again, tighter this time. More locks, more silence, more pretending I'm fine. God, what if I've built a prison I can't escape? What if I've protected myself into isolation? What if I've been alone so long, I've forgotten how to be known? I don't want to be unreachable. I don't want to be hard to love. But maybe I need to be loved in a different way now. Not with grand gestures, not with loud declarations, but with patience, with gentleness, with no expectations. Maybe what I need is someone, you, to sit with me in this fragile place, not asking me to change, not asking me to hurry, not asking me to open up, just staying, just being there. Because maybe that's the first step back to love. Not a breakthrough, not a revelation, just a presence that doesn't leave. So if you're here, if you're still listening, could you stay a little longer? Even if I don't respond right, even if I go quiet, even if I can't look you in the eyes yet, please, stay. And maybe, just maybe, that will be enough to begin again.
Love that demanded too much. Hey God, I think somewhere along the way, I got used to the kind of love that asked me to prove myself. The kind that only stayed if I was useful. The kind that only called me close when they needed something. The kind that made me feel like I had to earn my place. And even now, when I tried to believe in real love, I keep remembering all the times love came with a price tag. And I flinch. Because that version of love, the one that always demanded something back, it wore me out. And it taught me to brace for impact even when someone just wants to hold me. I remember the moments clearly, not because they were loud, but because they left a permanent bruise on how I see myself and how I see you. It's hard to forget the love that only smiled when I performed, the affection that vanished when I said no, the care that came only when I met their expectations. That love, it trained me to see myself as a product, a provider, a peacekeeper, never just a person. I became the one who showed up for everyone, who gave even when I was empty, who forgave even when I was breaking, who stayed even when it was hurting, because I thought that's what love was. Give more, do more, be less of a burden, and maybe, just maybe, they'll keep you around. God, that kind of love wrecked me. It taught me that the moment I needed something, I became too much. That the moment I stumbled, I became disposable. And now I carry that belief like a scar on my soul. I assume that even your love must come with the same rules, that I have to pray enough, that I have to never doubt, that I have to give you all of me before you'll give me a fraction of you. I don't say this to be ungrateful, God. I say it because I need you to know what this heart has been through. I've been loved in ways that broke me, loved in ways that confused me, loved in ways that hurt, and then called it care. And the worst part, I accepted it because I didn't think I deserved anything better. I was taught that love should feel heavy, that sacrifice meant silence, that if I spoke up, I was ungrateful, that if I asked for tenderness, I was needy, that if I cried, I was weak. So I stopped asking. I stopped needing. I stopped showing the parts of me that longed for gentle. And God, now, even when love comes wrapped in kindness, I can't believe it's real. I wonder what's behind the smile. I wonder when the kindness will turn. I wonder when I'll be asked to give more than I have. Because that's the story I lived, over and over. Love that took, love that pressed, love that made me feel small. I never learned how to rest in love, only how to perform in it, to earn it, to keep it from leaving. And now, I don't know how to trust a love that says, I'm here and you don't have to do a thing. That sounds foreign, like a language I forgot how to speak. But somewhere, deep down, maybe even in the parts of me I've closed off, I want that kind of love. The kind that stays, the kind that listens, the kind that doesn't punish me for being tired. The kind that says, you don't have to carry this alone. God, is that what your love is? Is that what you've been trying to show me all this time? That I don't have to give more than I have? That I don't have to apologize for being human? That I don't have to keep earning love because you already gave it? If so, then I've misunderstood you. Because I was told you were watching me, waiting for me to mess up, ready to turn away when I doubted, measuring me by how strong my faith was. But now I'm starting to wonder if that wasn't you at all. Maybe that was just the echo of broken people projecting their fear onto you. I want to know you differently, not as a judge, but as a father, not as a critic, but a comforter, not as someone I perform for, but someone I can fall apart with. Because I'm tired of transactional love. I'm tired of love that exhausts. I'm tired of giving my all and still feeling like it's never enough. I want to unlearn those patterns. I want to stop expecting every hug to turn into a debt. I want to stop assuming that if someone loves me, they're going to ask for something I can't give. God, what would it feel like to be loved without being useful? What would it feel like to be enough, even when I'm not giving anything? What would it feel like to be chosen, even when I'm quiet or tired or not okay? I want that kind of love. I need that kind of love. But I'm scared. Because every time I've tried to reach for it, I've been met with disappointment. And I don't know if I have the strength to open my heart one more time just to be broken again. So if you are love, God, real love, not the kind that manipulates or demands, then I need you to teach me. Not with sermons, not with pressure, but gently. Whisper it to me in the silence. Show me in the small things. Let your love find me in the places that still flinch. Because I want to believe again. I want to believe that love doesn't always hurt, that love can be soft, that love can be a place of rest, not labor. God, if you're still here, if you're still willing to love someone like me, even when I've forgotten how to receive it, then I'm listening. I'm trying. I'm opening the door, even if just a little. Please come in gently. No demands, no heavy lifting, just love, just presence, just you.
The smile that hides the flinch. Hey God, there's something I've gotten really good at. Smiling, nodding, saying thank you when someone's kind. But inside, I'm flinching. Not physically, maybe. Not enough for anyone to notice. But emotionally, there's a reflex that tightens up every time someone reaches out. It's like my heart is bracing for something. A withdrawal. A condition. A twist. Even when people are being kind, especially when they're being kind, something inside me gets suspicious. Not because I want to be, but because I've learned that kindness often has an expiration date. I think I learned to associate love with cost. Like every compliment comes with a future demand. Every gift comes with an expectation. Every soft word is a setup for a sharp one later. So I smile, because that's what I've always done. I thank them, because that's polite. But beneath the surface, I'm preparing to be let down, preparing to owe, preparing to run. God, do you know what that feels like? To be given something beautiful and not know what to do with it? To have someone offer you affection and your first instinct is defense? To want to melt into someone's embrace, but instead your body stiffens, waiting for it to turn cold. I wish I could receive without resistance. But I've been loved by people who only held me when they wanted something, who praised me with one hand and punished me with the other. And now, every form of love feels suspect, even yours. I don't want to feel this way, God. I don't want to look at every kindness and ask, what's the catch? I don't want to hold people at arm's length just because someone else once let me fall. I don't want to keep living with this invisible recoil, this guardedness, this quiet refusal to be fully seen. But I do it anyway, because flinching feels safer than falling. Because if I receive too deeply, it might hurt more when it's taken away. So I settle for surface-level connections, conversations that stay safe, love that doesn't reach all the way in. I stay in the shallow end because the deep water has drowned me before. And it's not just with people. It's with you too, God. I hear of your love. I read about your grace. I'm told that you never leave, never stop loving me, never grow tired of me. But there's a part of me that doesn't know how to trust it. Because I've been told those things by others, and they left, or changed, or turned cold when I wasn't who they needed me to be.
So I smile when I hear about your love. I say amen. I sing the songs. I raise my hands. But inside, sometimes I flinch. Because what if you're like the rest? What if you only love me when I'm worshiping well, when I'm strong in faith, when I'm getting it right? I know that's not what you say, but it's what I fear. Because it's what I've seen. And fear, even when it's not true, has a way of building walls around the heart. God, I don't want this wall anymore. I don't want to keep living with this quiet recoil, this subconscious pulling away every time something warm comes close. I want to trust again, not just with my mind, but with my body, my heart, my soul. I want to stop flinching. I want to start resting. But I think I need help. Because every time I try to open up, my instincts take over. And I shut down. Or I overthink. Or I make a joke. Or I change the subject. Or I pretend I don't care. And then I go home and cry over the love I pushed away again. Why do I do that? Why do I sabotage the very thing I pray for? Why do I run from what I most need? Maybe because somewhere along the way, I decided that receiving love is more dangerous than living without it. Because at least in the absence of love, I know what to expect. But when love shows up, I never quite believe it'll stay. So I shut the door slowly. Not loud enough for anyone to notice, not sudden enough to seem cold, just quietly, silently. Soften the eyes, tighten the heart, smile, and back away. God, if your love, real, healing, no strings attached love, then I need you to be patient with me. Because I'm still learning, still unlearning, still trying to untangle my trauma from my theology, still trying to believe that I don't have to perform to be held, that I don't have to be perfect to be chosen, that I don't have to hide my flinch for you to still call me yours. So tonight, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to smile if it's not honest. I'm just going to be here, guarded, tired, trying. And I'm going to let that be enough. Because maybe healing doesn't begin with a breakthrough. Maybe it begins with noticing the flinch and choosing not to run away from it. Maybe it begins with letting you see me in that exact moment of recoil and staying anyway. So, if you see me flinch, God, please don't take it as rejection. Please don't think I'm pushing you away because I don't want you. Sometimes I push away because I want you too much, and I'm afraid you'll leave like the others did. But if you stay, even in that fear, maybe, just maybe, I'll learn to stay too. Let that be enough for tonight. Just this whisper, just this moment, just this small, holy ache that longs to stop flinching and start believing.
The wall that became home. Hey God, do you see it? This wall I've built around my heart? I didn't mean for it to be this high. I didn't set out to live behind bricks of silence. But little by little, hurt by hurt, I started adding layers. And now, this wall feels like home. I used to think protection meant safety, that if I could just guard myself enough, I'd finally feel secure. So I built, not with stone or steel, but with quiet smiles, polite distance, and conversations that never go too deep. It worked. For a while, but now I'm not so sure, because this home of mine, it's starting to feel more like a cage,
I don't let people in. Not really. I let them close enough to wave, but not close enough to stay. I keep the lights on, but the door locked, because vulnerability feels like too big a risk. And maybe that made sense once. Maybe I needed those walls in a season when the world felt too harsh, when love hurt too much, when trust cost too dearly. But now, God, I don't want to live like this anymore. There's a strange ache that comes with emotional isolation. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It just lingers. A quiet kind of lonely. Like being in a room full of people and still feeling unknown. Like smiling in a photo while your soul hides in the background. Like having conversations, but not feeling connected. And I've gotten so used to it that I forgot what real connection even feels like. This wall, it kept me safe, but it also kept me small. It protected me from pain, but it also robbed me of joy. It made sure no one could get in, but it also made sure I couldn't get out. I built this to survive. But now, I'm realizing I'm not living. I'm just existing. Behind a wall, with a smile, and a heart that's forgotten what it means to be seen. God, I think I'm ready for something different. But I don't know how. Because breaking down a wall isn't like flipping a switch. It's slow. It's scary. And honestly, it's painful. Because the wall didn't just block out hurt. It became part of who I thought I needed to be. I became the strong one, the helper, the one who's got it all together, the one who doesn't need, doesn't cry in front of others, doesn't ask for help. Because I believed that to be loved, I had to be impenetrable. But now, I'm exhausted from being untouchable. God, I want to be soft again. I want to be open again. I want to let the light in without fearing the shadows that might come with it. But how do I begin? How do I trust that letting down the wall won't lead to more wounds? Maybe you've been waiting on the other side, not forcing your way in, not yelling, just waiting. Waiting for me to feel safe enough to open the door, to even crack a window, to say, God, I'm tired of hiding. Can I come out now? Because I don't want to spend my life locked in a version of safety that keeps love away. I don't want to spend my days avoiding hurt so much that I miss every moment of healing. I don't want to become so used to numbness that I forget what it means to feel alive. God, will you help me? Not tear down the whole wall in one day. I couldn't survive that. But maybe just one brick. One moment of honesty. One breath of trust. One quiet whisper. I don't want to live this way anymore. I think that's all I can manage today. But maybe that's enough. Because you don't rush me. You don't break in. You don't shout over my silence. You wait. You stay. You love me from the other side of the wall until I'm ready to meet you there. And maybe love like that, love that's patient, is what begins to feel safe again. Maybe the wall starts to crumble, not through force, but through kindness. God, I know you see all of me, even the parts I've hidden, even the stories I haven't told, even the versions of myself I've buried behind this wall. And yet, you still love me. You still knock, not to break in, but to invite me out. So tonight, I'm opening the window. Just a little. I'm letting some air in, letting myself breathe, letting myself hope that maybe this wall doesn't have to be my home forever. Maybe safety doesn't have to mean isolation. Maybe protection doesn't have to mean loneliness. Maybe love, real love, can be a shelter without becoming a prison. And maybe you, more than anyone, know how to build a home out of something softer than walls. I don't know how to live without the wall yet, but I know I don't want to live behind it anymore. That's something, right? That's a beginning. So I'll sit here by this open window with you. No pressure, no rush, no fixing, just presence, just quiet, just me learning how to come home to love without hiding anymore.
Even your love feels too much. Hey God, I need to tell you something. It's hard to say out loud, and I hope you don't take it the wrong way. But sometimes, even your love feels like too much. Not because I don't want it, not because I don't believe in it, not even because I think I'm unworthy of it, though sometimes I do, but because your love is so big, so constant, so overwhelming. And I don't know what to do with something that doesn't give up on me, because nothing in my life has ever stayed that long. I grew up hearing about your love, how wide it is, how deep, how everlasting. But to me, those words sounded more like poetry than reality. Beautiful, but distant. Because in my world, love always came with limits, rules, deadlines, exits. Love could be earned and lost and taken back. So when I hear that you love me, no matter what, there's a part of me that still whispers, that can't be right. Because I've been taught that love depends on performance, that forgiveness has a limit, that closeness must be deserved. So when you offer me a love that doesn't flinch at my flaws, that stays through my silence, that doesn't measure me by my usefulness, I don't know how to hold it. I don't know how to trust it. I don't know how to breathe inside something that isn't trying to change me. Even now, I feel it, that quiet resistance rising in my chest. When I try to sit still and imagine you loving me, without expectations, without conditions, something inside me tightens. Because I don't know how to receive without returning, without repaying, without apologizing. God, how do I rest in a love that doesn't want anything back? It almost feels unfair, like I should do something to deserve it, like I need to earn back the air you give me, like I'm taking up more space than I've paid for. Because that's how the world has worked for me. That's how relationships have been shaped, transactional, fragile, temporary. But you're not like them, are you? You don't love like the world does. And I think that's what scares me. Because if I let myself truly believe that your love won't walk away, that it won't disappear when I mess up, that it won't grow cold when I'm weak, then I have to face something even scarier than rejection. I have to face the possibility that I've been wrong about you, that you've projected all my past pain onto a God who was never anything but good. And that realization, it's both beautiful and heartbreaking. Beautiful because it means you've loved me all along, even in the seasons I doubted you, even in the moments I pushed you away. Heartbreaking because I spent so long trying to earn something that was never for sale. God, I don't want to keep running from love,
especially not yours. I don't want to keep flinching when you reach for me. But I'm still learning, still healing, still trying to untangle divine love from all the human versions that came before it. And if I'm being honest, sometimes your presence feels so holy, I don't know how to sit still inside it. I feel exposed, like you see all of me, not just the good parts. And that vulnerability, it makes me want to hide, even though you're not asking me to. You don't shame me. You don't threaten me. You don't demand I fix myself before I come close. But still, my instinct is to withdraw, to say, let me clean up first. Let me do better first. Let me be more worthy before I rest in your arms. But you never asked for that, did you? You just said, come. Come weary. Come broken. Come doubting. Come afraid. Just come. God, help me believe you. Help me believe that love can really look like this. Soft, gentle, steady, without pressure, without punishment, without leaving. Help me stop measuring your love by the wounds others left behind. Because I know now that I've been filtering you through the lens of people who didn't stay. And that's not fair to you. You didn't leave me. You didn't lie to me. You didn't abandon me when I wasn't strong. You stayed. You whispered through the silence. You waited behind the wall. You held my hand even when I couldn't feel it. And now, you're still here. Even now. Even still. So maybe tonight, I can practice something new. Not trying harder. Not performing. Just receiving. Even if it's awkward. Even if I flinch. Even if I don't know what to say. Maybe I can just sit here. Quiet. Unsure, unfinished, and let you love me anyway. Let that be enough. No striving, no earning, no fear. Just presence, just grace, just you. Loving me in a way that heals instead of demands. God, I don't know how to receive love without flinching. But maybe tonight, I can begin.
What if I'm too broken to receive? Hey God, can I ask you something I've been too afraid to say out loud? What if I'm too broken to receive love anymore? I know that's not how you see me. I know people say you love the broken, that you bind up wounds, that you mend what's been shattered. But deep down, in the quiet corners of my soul, I wonder if I'm just too far gone. Not in a dramatic way, not in a falling apart, screaming in the street kind of way, but in that slow, invisible unraveling where you keep functioning, keep smiling, keep showing up, while inside you're quietly crumbling. And I worry, maybe the pieces of me have been scattered for too long. Maybe I've learned to live around the damage instead of healing from it. Maybe I've patched myself up so many times, I don't remember what it feels like to be whole. God, what if I've been like this for too long? What if I've adapted so much to being guarded, so used to pushing away love, so used to pretending I'm okay, that I can't even recognize softness anymore? What if my heart doesn't know how to open? Sometimes I feel like I'm watching people live from behind a glass wall. I see them loving, receiving, laughing without flinching, trusting without a second thought. And I want that. But when I try to step forward, something in me freezes, like I'm not allowed in, like I missed the door that let everyone else through. Is it possible that I've become emotionally allergic to love? That I've built such strong survival instincts that even comfort feels dangerous? That I've taught my heart to be so self-sufficient it doesn't know how to be held? And worst of all, what if you're offering love, but I'm too damaged to let it in? What if I hear your voice, but I can't believe it's meant for me? What if I'm sitting in the presence of perfect love, but my fear still wins? God, I don't want to be unreachable, but sometimes I feel like I am. Like love is trying to get in, but I've locked every door and forgotten where I put the key. And you know what hurts most? People don't see it because I'm good at hiding it. They see someone put together, someone strong, someone who smiles and makes jokes and says all the right things. But they don't see the ache underneath, the exhaustion, the longing, the fear that I might be permanently closed off, even to you. So here I am, finally saying it, not because I know how to fix it, but because I need you to see me here. In the doubt, in the disconnect, in the fear that maybe I can't be reached. God, what if I've gotten so used to being unloved that I don't even know how to accept love when it's real? What if I confuse kindness with danger, affection with obligation, closeness with risk? What if all the times I was hurt taught me a pattern that my heart still follows even when it's not true anymore? I want to believe you can rewrite that pattern, but I'm afraid. Because what if healing hurts first? What if being loved well feels so unfamiliar I run from it anyway? What if I sabotage the very thing I'm praying for? But still, somewhere inside me, under the fear, under the doubt, under the hardened layers, I want to be reached. I want to be found even when I'm not calling out. I want to be chosen even when I'm not performing. I want to be held even when I flinch. God, if you really do love the broken, if your love really does reach where nothing else can, then I need you here. In this moment. Not when I'm better, not when I'm stronger, not when I'm more spiritual or more deserving. Now, just as I am. Half open, half healed, half willing. But honest. Because maybe that's what you're waiting for. Not perfection, not clarity, not a neat version of me. Just truth. Just this whispered ache that says, I want to be loved, but I don't know how to receive it anymore. So tonight, I'm giving you that truth. Not as a prayer for instant transformation, but as a starting place. A confession that feels like a surrender, a whisper that feels like a cry, a pause that feels like a turning point. If I'm not too broken for you, then please come in. Through the cracks, through the quiet, through the places even I've stopped believing in. Come in. Not with force, not with fireworks, just with the steady love that says, I never gave up on you. And maybe, if I hear that long enough, soft enough, consistent enough, I'll start to believe it. Even here. Even now. Even as I wonder if I'm too broken to receive. But for tonight, I'll rest in the smallest possibility that I'm not too far gone. That I'm not too hard to reach. That I'm not too late to be loved. And that you're still here. Still reaching. Still whispering, you're not broken beyond my love. You're exactly where my love begins.
Love that doesn't ask for anything back. Hey God, I've spent so much of my life thinking that love came with a contract, a list of conditions, an unspoken exchange, a quiet expectation that I had to give something back to be worthy of keeping it. But now, I'm starting to wonder, what if love doesn't have to be earned? What if real love doesn't ask for anything back? That idea feels foreign to me, like learning a language I was never taught, like hearing a melody that's beautiful but doesn't belong to the world I grew up in. Because the love I've known always came with strings. Strings that tightened the closer I got. Strings that tangled around me until I didn't know where I ended and performance began. I got used to giving more than I had. I got used to feeling like love was a transaction. Even when it was dressed up as kindness, there was always an invisible receipt. And so I began to match love with effort, with output, with usefulness. I made myself smaller, more agreeable, more selfless, even when it was self-erasing. Because deep down, I believed that love required sacrifice. Not the kind that brings life, but the kind that slowly empties you until there's nothing left to give. But God, if your love is real, then maybe I've been wrong. Maybe the kind of love you offer isn't a contract. It's a shelter. Maybe it doesn't say, do more. Maybe it just says, come home. What if you don't need me to earn your attention? What if you're not watching with a checklist in hand, waiting to see if I've measured up? What if you love me, quietly, fiercely, completely, even when I don't feel it, even when I don't give anything back? That kind of love feels scandalous, unfair, and maybe that's the point. Maybe love was never meant to be fair. Maybe it was meant to be free. But I struggle with that because I don't know what to do with something that doesn't ask for anything. When you say, I love you, and follow it with nothing, no condition, no correction, no caveat, I don't know where to put that kind of grace. I want to believe it, but there's still a voice inside me that whispers, you have to do more. You have to be better. You can't just receive, that's selfish. But I'm so tired, God. Tired of earning. Tired of managing the weight of worthiness. Tired of trying to hold on to love by becoming whatever it needs me to be. I don't want to perform anymore. I don't want to barter for affection. I just want to rest, to exhale, to be loved. Is that possible with you? Can I sit in silence, offering nothing, and still be held? Can I bring you my emptiness? No prayers, no spiritual discipline, no well-crafted faith, and still be called beloved? If so, then maybe that's the kind of love that could save me. Not the love that demands, but the love that sees. Not the love that asks, but the love that gives. Because I've seen what transactional love does. It makes people afraid to speak, afraid to fall apart, afraid to need. It teaches us to perform until we forget who we are beneath the act. It teaches us to hide when we're hurting. It teaches us that vulnerability is dangerous. But your love, it looks different. It whispers, you can come undone here.
you can rest here. You don't have to be anything but present. So maybe tonight I can try that. I can lay down the pressure, the guilt, the constant sense that I need to be doing more. I can stop trying to prove that I deserve to be loved, and instead, just be loved. No effort, no offering, no return. Just love received. It feels strange, a little uncomfortable, like stepping into warm water after being in the cold for so long. But maybe that's what healing feels like at first. Unfamiliar. And maybe you don't mind my discomfort. Maybe you're not in a hurry to fix it. Maybe you're just here, patiently loving me while I relearn how to be loved. Because you're not loving me for what I give. You're not here because of how I serve you. You're not staying because I said the right words. You're here because you are love. And love doesn't keep score. God, I don't want to run from that anymore. I want to stay, to soak it in, to stop apologizing for being loved freely. Even if I can't offer much, even if I don't have all the right words, even if I'm still healing, let this be my posture tonight. Hands open, heart quiet, walls down, or at least a little lower. Let your love do what it came to do, not to demand, but to dwell, not to be earned, but to be experienced, not to be repaid, but to be received. So here I am, not giving anything, just receiving. And maybe that's holy too.
Let me learn slowly. Hey God, can I ask you for something small but sacred? Can you teach me to receive again? Slowly. Not all at once, not with a breakthrough, not with a grand transformation overnight. Just gently, quietly, like sunlight creeping in through a window I forgot I opened. Because I'm not ready for fireworks. I'm not ready for a flood. I'm not ready to tear down every wall and let love rush in like a wave. I don't think my heart could survive that kind of sudden softness. Not yet. I've lived a long time in self-protection. I've worn it like a second skin. A practiced smile, a guarded laugh, a well-timed, I'm fine. I've learned how to keep people close, but not too close. How to be present, but not vulnerable. How to serve, but not receive. And unlearning that, it takes time. It takes tenderness. It takes trust, the kind that grows one whisper at a time. God, I want to trust again. I want to believe love isn't a trap. That kindness doesn't always come with conditions. That not everyone will leave when I need too much. But I can't rush there. I can't just decide to believe. I need to learn. And I need you to be the kind of teacher who doesn't rush the lesson. Because I'm scared of moving too fast, of opening too wide, of being too raw, and getting hurt all over again. So instead of expecting me to leap, can you just sit with me while I learn to lean? Instead of asking me to open my whole heart, can you just help me crack the door? Instead of expecting full trust, can you hold my hand while I take one hesitant step forward? Because I think healing is holy when it's slow. I think you honor the small tries, the half prayers, the almost tears, the brave moments where I choose closeness over comfort, even when I'm trembling.
I want to be patient with myself. But it's hard, because some days I think I should be further by now. I should be more open, more healed, more faithful, more trusting. But you never say that, do you? You never rush me. You never shame me for needing time. So maybe I can stop rushing too. Maybe I can let healing take the shape of mornings where I sit with you in silence, of moments where I feel the ache but don't run, of simple prayers that sound like, I'm still here, I'm still trying, I still want love to find me. God, let me learn slowly. Let me breathe between lessons. Let me rest without guilt. Let me ask questions without fearing I'm failing. Let me trust you not just as a savior, but as a safe place. Because what I need most is not a sermon, not a solution, not even a sign. I need space and softness, and a shepherd who doesn't walk ahead of me too fast. I've been rushed before, pressured to change, pushed to heal, told to get over it when I hadn't even found language for what hurt. But you don't do that. You kneel. You listen. You wait. You see. And maybe that's where love begins to feel safe again, in the absence of pressure. So God, if I flinch less today than yesterday, is that enough? If I let one person a little closer, is that progress? If I don't fake a smile, is that healing? If I whisper a prayer without expecting a miracle, is that faith? Because I think you celebrate small things. I think you see me where I think I'm invisible. I think you count quiet courage as sacred. I think you mark every tiny opening in my heart as holy ground. So teach me gently. Let love feel less like a flood and more like rain on dry ground. Let it soak in slowly. Let it soften what's been hardened. Let it reach the places I stopped believing were reachable. Not with demands, not with performance, but with presence. Let my healing come in whispers, not waves. Let me take one step toward trust and not be afraid if I pause. Let the rhythm be slow. Let the light be soft. Let me relearn love as something that stays, not something that strikes. I don't need fast. I don't need loud. I don't need all the answers. I just need to know you're still here. Patient, kind, unhurried. Because when love doesn't rush me, I finally feel safe enough to stay. So tonight, I choose to learn slowly, to receive quietly, to rest without guilt, to believe that even this gentle beginning is part of the healing you've always wanted for me.
How it feels to be held without judgment. Hey God, something happened today. It wasn't big. It didn't come with a sign. But for just a moment, I felt held, and I didn't feel judged. I didn't even realize how much I was bracing until I wasn't anymore. I wasn't performing. I wasn't proving. I wasn't trying to be okay. I just sat there, quiet, unpolished, still a little skeptical. And you stayed. You didn't correct me. You didn't fix me. You didn't ask for anything back. You just held me and let me be me. God, I didn't know how much I needed that, to be seen completely and not feel exposed, to be known deeply and not feel ashamed, because most of my life being held came with expectations, rules, roles, obligations. It came with, you're safe here as long as you don't mess up. I love you, but only the best parts of you. You can lean on me, just don't lean too hard. So I learned to hold myself, to carry what no one else wanted, to shrink when I felt too heavy, to apologize for my emotions before I even expressed them. And maybe that's why I flinched, even when you reached with kindness, because I didn't know there was another kind of holding. But today, it felt different. Your love didn't ask for my resume. It didn't need a perfect prayer. It didn't back away when I was quiet. It just stayed. No expectations, no script, no pressure to explain why I was tired. Just arms I couldn't see, but somehow felt. A stillness that wrapped around me like warmth after a long, cold season. God, is this what you've been offering all along? Love that doesn't audit me? Love that doesn't weigh my words before deciding if I'm worthy? Because if that's real, if that's what you offer, then I think I can breathe for the first time in a long time. I didn't know that being held without judgment could feel like coming home, to myself, to you, to peace I forgot I deserved. There's something sacred about being held in your worst moments and not being asked to be better first. Something holy about being embraced while the mess is still dripping from your hands. Something healing about not having to hide anything, just to be worthy of staying close. You didn't flinch at my fears. You didn't frown at my doubts. You didn't push away my silence. You just stayed. And in that stillness, I felt loved. Not because of what I'd done, not because I'd earned it, not because I'd proven myself trustworthy, but simply because I was yours. God, I've spent so much time trying to keep it together in front of people, even in front of you. But now I wonder, how many times have you been right here, waiting to hold me, while I tried to fix myself first? And you never rushed in with shame. You never raised your voice. You never said, "Look what a mess you are." You just opened your arms and waited for me to stop apologizing for needing them. There's something revolutionary about a love that holds you even when you're convinced you're too much. A love that doesn't shift away when the truth of you spills out. A love that sees the scar and doesn't look away. That's what I felt today. And for a second, I forgot to hate myself. I forgot to hide. I forgot to fear being too broken to keep. And in that moment, I understood something. I'm not hard to hold. I was just never held right before. God, if you keep offering this kind of love, the kind that doesn't flinch, the kind that doesn't expect a performance, the kind that welcomes even my weakness, then maybe I don't need to earn rest anymore. Maybe I can just rest in your arms, in this love, in the quiet where no one is asking me to be more than I am. Maybe I can let go of the tension I've carried for years, the tension of trying to be lovable instead of just letting myself be loved. So tonight, I won't rehearse my worth. I won't explain away my exhaustion. I won't try to impress you with faith that feels fake. I'll just let you hold me in this soft silence, in this space where love doesn't analyze, it just stays. Let that be enough. Let it be everything. Because maybe being held without judgment is what heals us faster than all the striving in the world ever could. God, thank you for holding me like that, without correction, without condition, without rushing me to become someone else. Thank you for letting me be just me, tired, wounded, softening, and still held.
I don't want to hide anymore. Hey God, can I tell you the truth tonight? I don't want to hide anymore. I've been doing it for so long that I almost forgot I was doing it. Hiding behind the smile, behind the "I'm fine," behind the version of me that never breaks down, never needs too much, never asks to be loved beyond her usefulness. But lately, something's been stirring in me. A weariness, a hunger, a quiet voice that says, there has to be more than this. More than performing, more than pretending, more than keeping everyone comfortable while I quietly unravel on the inside. I don't want to keep hiding, God. Not from people, not from love, not from you. But I don't really know how to stop. Hiding has become second nature. It feels safer, predictable, a space where I can control the narrative, manage how people see me, and protect myself from rejection before it even has the chance to happen. I learned early that being fully seen was risky, that showing too much could be used against me, that vulnerability wasn't sacred, it was ammunition. So I started covering the soft parts, editing the truth, only revealing pieces of myself when I was sure they wouldn't be met with shame. And I carried that survival skill into every relationship, even my relationship with you. I came to you polished, scripted, apologetic. I tried to pray the right way, to sound strong, to hide my doubts under poetic words, to filter my sadness so it didn't feel like ingratitude. But tonight, I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of hiding, tired of shrinking, tired of fearing that the full truth of me is too much for anyone to love. I want to be known, not the curated version, not the filtered highlight reel, not the neat confession wrapped in a Bible verse. The real me, the messy me, the hurting, hesitant, beautiful, broken me. And I want to believe that even that version could be held without hesitation. God, what would it feel like to be fully seen and still fully safe? To be known and not managed, to be exposed and not condemned. That's the kind of love I long for. Not love that tolerates me because I've cleaned myself up enough, but love that steps into the room when I haven't moved the clutter, when I haven't hidden the tears, when I haven't rehearsed what I'm going to say. I think I've believed for too long that hiding was the only way to be loved, but maybe I was never loved for who I am because I never gave anyone the chance to know me, including you. So here I am, God, taking one small, terrified step out of hiding. I won't pretend I'm fearless. I won't pretend I'm ready to let everyone see everything, but I can start with you. Because you already see it, don't you? You see the pain I don't talk about, the disappointments I minimized, the moments I almost gave up but smiled through anyway. You see the places I ache, the parts of me I've labeled as too much, the emotions I learned to bury because they made other people uncomfortable. You see it all, and you stay. You stay without flinching, without fixing, without telling me to be different. God, I want to be that kind of brave, the kind of brave that tells the truth, the kind of brave that lets the wall come down one brick at a time, the kind of brave that stops saying I'm fine when I'm not. Because maybe healing doesn't start with being strong. Maybe it starts with being real. So tonight, I'm being real. I don't have it all together. I still doubt, I still guard, I still flinch when someone sees too much. But I don't want to live my whole life behind a curtain. I don't want to keep love out just to feel in control. I don't want to protect myself from something you're trying to give me. So help me, God. Help me come out of hiding. Help me be seen without shame. Help me tell the truth even when it shakes in my throat. And most of all, help me believe that being known doesn't mean being left. If you see all of me and still call me yours, then maybe I don't need to keep editing myself to earn love that was never meant to be earned. Let that be my freedom tonight. Not to be fixed, not to be fearless, just to be found, even in the places I tried to disappear. Let me stop hiding, God. Let me start healing.
Teach me to receive again. Hey God, I think I forgot how to receive. Somewhere between the betrayals and the silence, the pulling close and the pushing away, I lost the ability to let love in without fear. Now, even when kindness comes, I brace myself. Even when someone offers gentleness, I stiffen. Even when you whisper, "I'm here," I still look around, waiting for the moment you vanish like the rest. I didn't mean to get like this. I didn't decide one day to stop trusting, to stop believing that love could stay, to stop letting anyone see how much I actually needed it. It just happened, one wound at a time, one goodbye at a time, one broken promise at a time. And now, love makes me nervous. So I'm asking you, God, teach me to receive again. Not just intellectually, not just theologically, but viscerally, emotionally, physically. Teach me how to relax when kindness arrives. Teach me how to stay when love comes close. Teach me to trust without needing to prepare for loss. Because I've been doing this self-protection dance for so long that I don't know how to stand still anymore. I don't know how to rest in the presence of something that doesn't want to take from me. I know how to give. I know how to serve. I know how to help, comfort, fix, support, carry. But receive? That feels foreign. Like I'm stealing something. Like I'm asking for too much. Like I should hurry up and give something back to justify being loved. Where did I learn that? Where did I learn that my only value was in what I offered? Where did I learn that I couldn't be held unless I'd earned the embrace? I don't want to live that way anymore, God. I want to be loved freely. I want to rest without guilt. I want to receive without needing to apologize for it. But I need your help. Because every time I try, my old instincts come rushing in.
I tense, I deflect, I make a joke, I look away, I change the subject, I return the compliment before it settles. Receiving feels too exposed, too vulnerable, too much like saying, I need this. And that terrifies me. Because if I need something, what if it gets taken away? What if I get too used to it, too comfortable, too dependent? What if I let myself believe I'm loved and then it's gone? God, teach me to believe that love that comes from you doesn't play those games. That your love isn't conditional. That your presence doesn't vanish when I stop performing. That I can be weak and still be wanted. Be honest and still be held. Be needy and still be enough. I want to stop apologizing for how deeply I long to be loved. I want to stop hiding my hunger like it's a flaw. I want to stop pretending that I'm more comfortable giving than I am receiving, when the truth is, I'm just scared to open up again. Scared to trust a gift I didn't earn. Scared to believe I'm lovable even when I'm not useful. But maybe if you teach me slowly, softly, patiently, I can learn. Maybe I can let someone say, I care about you, and not shrink away. Maybe I can hear you whisper, I love you, and not reply, why? Maybe I can just receive. Let it land. Let it stay. Let it soften the places I've kept hard for too long. God, I don't need to be flooded with affection. I don't need a breakthrough moment. I just need you to walk with me, brick by brick, layer by layer, fear by fear, until receiving feels less like a threat and more like coming home. So tonight, I'll practice. I won't rush to give something back. I won't minimize the kindness you offer. I won't dodge the grace you offer. I'll breathe it in. I'll let it linger. I'll whisper back, thank you. And I'll try to believe that nothing more is required. Not effort, not achievement, not ecology. Just presence. Just openness. Just this sacred willingness to be loved. God, teach me to receive again. Because I think once I do, everything else might begin to heal.
I'm not a burden. I'm beloved. Hey God, there's something I've believed for a long time, something I've never said out loud, but it's lived beneath everything. I believed I was a burden, not because anyone ever said it directly, but because of all the small things, the sighs, the silences, the way people withdrew when I got too honest, too emotional, too needy. I learned to translate love as tolerance, care as obligation, presence as politeness. And eventually, I internalized this quiet message. You're too much to carry, too heavy to hold, too complicated to stay close to. So I started hiding. I made myself smaller. I filtered my feelings. I made my needs more reasonable, more low maintenance, more manageable for everyone else. I became self-sufficient, not because I didn't long for help, but because I thought needing help made me harder to love. God, even with you, I sometimes feel like I'm asking too much, like I'm praying too often, repeating myself, bringing you problems you're probably tired of hearing. I imagine you frustrated with me, wishing I'd get it together,
wanting me to be stronger, quicker, braver. But maybe that's not you. Maybe that's just a shadow of how I learned to see myself through other people's eyes. Because when I quiet the noise, when I tune into your voice, not theirs, I don't hear disappointment. I don't hear you again, or you should be over this by now. I hear, come closer. I hear, you're not too much for me. So maybe I've been wrong. Maybe I've mistaken the fatigue of others as the nature of love. Maybe I've confused emotional rejection with spiritual truth. Maybe I've let human frailty define my worth. But you're not like them, are you? You don't withdraw when I cry. You don't pull away when I struggle. You don't love me less when I'm low. You don't see me as a weight. You see me as worthy. Not because of what I've done, not because I've earned anything, but because I am. I am yours. I am seen. I am sacred. I am beloved. Not burdensome, not inconvenient, not embarrassing, not too much, just beloved. That word is hard for me to accept sometimes because it's not something I feel often. It's not something I say to myself. It sounds too kind, too full, too undeserved. But maybe that's the point. Love, real love, isn't something you earn. It's something you receive. God, help me receive it now. Not halfway, not with apologies, not with guilt riding on my shoulders, but fully, as if it were written on the inside of my skin since the moment I was formed, as if you looked at everything I am and said, exactly this, yes, this is who I love. Because if that's true, if I'm not a burden but beloved, then I don't need to keep tiptoeing through life trying not to inconvenience anyone. I don't need to keep dimming my light so I don't take up too much space. I don't need to be smaller, quieter, easier just to be worthy of affection. I can breathe. I can speak. I can feel things deeply and still be loved. I can need and still be wanted. I can fall apart and still be someone worth staying for. And you, God, you don't just stay, you delight in staying. You don't just tolerate my presence, you welcome it. You don't just accept my flaws, you wrap them in mercy. So maybe tonight, I can stop apologizing for being here. I can stop shrinking every time I feel too emotional, too broken, too human. Maybe I can whisper the truth back to myself. I'm not a burden. I'm beloved. Let that sink deeper than every insult I've internalized. Let it echo louder than every goodbye that made me feel unwanted. Let it replace the voice that says, "You take up too much space," with the voice that says, "There's always room for you here." Because you've never called me too much. You've never asked me to be less. You've never walked away when I brought my full self to you. So I'll stop doing it for you. I'll stop editing my prayers. I'll stop censoring my emotions. I'll stop pretending that being deeply human is a flaw you want to fix. Because you don't fix me to make me lovable. You love me, and that's what begins the healing. God, let me carry this truth into tomorrow. Let it anchor me when the old lies whisper in my ear. Let it remind me who I am when I feel like I'm asking for too much again. Let me stand tall, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm loved. Fully, freely, forever. I am not a burden. I'm beloved. And that changes everything. Let this be enough for tonight. Hey God, I'm here again. Not with answers, not with breakthroughs, not with a perfectly healed heart. Just here. Still trying, still tender, still learning how to be loved. And I hope that's enough for tonight. Because I've spent so many nights going to bed feeling like I didn't do enough. Didn't pray enough, didn't trust enough, didn't grow fast enough, didn't stay strong enough, and it's exhausting. I carry this quiet pressure like a weight on my chest. This idea that I have to earn peace before I can rest, that I need to reach some invisible checkpoint before I let myself exhale. But you don't ask for that. You're not pacing in heaven with a clipboard and a scorecard. You're not measuring my worth by how productive my healing looks. You're just here, still, gentle, close. So maybe tonight can be different. Maybe I don't need to prove anything, fix everything, finish the race before my body can collapse into sleep. Maybe tonight I can just be human and let that be okay. I didn't conquer all my fears today. I didn't silence every lie. I didn't finally unlock the secret to trusting perfectly. But I showed up, I told the truth, I whispered the words even when they trembled. And maybe that's a kind of worship too. Maybe you're not looking for perfect progress. You're looking for presence. A heart that still knocks on your door, even when it doesn't know what to ask for. A soul that still reaches out, even when it doesn't feel strong. A whisper that still says, "Here I am." Even if nothing else feels certain. So God, here I am. No spotlight, no resolution. Just me at the end of a long day, hoping it's okay to leave some things unfinished. Can I rest in you without tying everything up in a bow? Can I leave the questions open and still sleep in peace? Can I stop striving and just be? Held, seen, known, loved. I'm tired, God. Not defeated, just human. And I need you to meet me in this weariness, not with instruction, not with intensity, but with presence, with a love that sits beside me in the quiet without needing anything in return. Let this moment be enough, this pause, this breath, this fragile little yes that says, I still want to trust you, even when I'm not sure how. Because healing isn't a straight line, and growth isn't always visible, and faith isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the courage to be honest at the end of the day, to say, I didn't get everything right today, but I didn't run away either. God, I don't need a miracle tonight. I don't need fireworks. I just need you to stay. To be the stillness that cradles me when my soul is weary of fighting. To remind me that I'm not behind. I'm not failing. I'm just healing. And that takes time, and rest, and permission to be gentle with myself. So let this be my prayer. Let this be enough. Let it be enough that I felt something, that I kept my heart open even a little, that I spoke honestly, that I didn't pretend. Let it be enough that I let love come close, even if I still flinched. Let it be enough that I reached for you, even if my hands shook. I don't want to measure this day by how far I got. I want to measure it by how bravely I stayed, how I didn't run from my own softness, how I let truth rise in me without needing to conquer it. God, you never asked me to fix it all by bedtime. You just asked me to come, to sit with you, to be real. And I did that. So maybe this is enough. Let that settle over me like a blanket. Let that truth cradle me into rest. Let it be the last thing I hear tonight. You don't have to earn your place here. You're already loved, even as you are, even now, even still. So I'll close my eyes, not with everything figured out, but with peace I didn't have to perform for. Because tonight, love didn't ask for more. It just asked me to come. And I did. So this is enough.
Just loved, just held, just me. Hey God, this is it. The end of the day, the edge of everything I could carry, the quiet space after all the questions. And here I am, not reaching for anything, not trying to fix anything, not pretending to be anything. Just me. No script, no pressure, no performance, no apology. I'm not praying to get better. I'm not hoping to impress you. I'm not even asking for answers. I just want to be here, in this sacred stillness, and know that I am loved, held, enough. It took me a long time to get here, to this moment, to this kind of quiet, because for most of my life, love felt like something I had to chase, like something I had to audition for. I thought I needed to earn comfort, to deserve peace, to measure up just enough to rest without guilt. But now I'm learning that you don't love me for what I bring. You don't hold me because I performed well today. You're not staying because I finally got it right. You're here because you always were. You were there when I flinched. You were there when I hid. You were there when I doubted, pushed away, shut down, and questioned whether love was safe. And now, you're still here. Not because I won you over, not because I prayed hard enough, but because that's who you are. The one who stays, the one who holds, the one who whispers, "You don't have to try so hard. I already love you." So tonight, I'm not going to explain myself. I'm not going to justify my emotions. I'm not going to list all the ways I've improved. I'm just going to exist in the softness of your presence, in the silence that doesn't shame me, in the grace that doesn't demand anything. God, what a gift that is, to be this quiet, this still, this accepted. I don't have to put on my brave face. I don't have to say the right words. I don't have to reach a resolution by bedtime. I just have to breathe. and maybe let you carry what I couldn't today. There are things I still don't understand, wounds that still need healing, walls that aren't completely down. But none of that disqualifies me from being held. Because being held was never about being fixed. It was about being known and loved anyway. So here I am, heart open, hands unclenched, walls down, even just a little. Just loved, just held, just me. And that's the miracle, isn't it? That I don't have to become more to be worthy of love. That I don't have to perform intimacy to deserve connection. That I don't have to clean up my soul to be held in your arms. You don't need me to be ready. You just want me to be real. So I am. No masks, no polish, no filters. Just me. Soft, slow, sincere. And for once, I'm not afraid of that. Because tonight, I don't feel like a problem to solve. I don't feel like a burden to manage. I don't feel like something to hide. I feel human and holy, and somehow still deeply held. God, if I forget this tomorrow, remind me again. Remind me that I don't have to prove anything, that I don't have to hide anything, that I don't have to change anything to be loved by you. Because love that stays, even when I flinch, that's the kind of love that changes everything. That's the kind of love that heals. That's the kind of love that finally made its way to me. So I'll let it be here now, unrushed, undeserved, unbelievably beautiful. And I'll rest in it without guilt, without apology, without effort. Just loved, just held, just me. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like more than enough.